So, what's the problem? Are we not asking enough for more faith? And you're like, God, give me more faith. God, faith, faith, faith. Fear is the opposite of faith. Fear gets in the way from us doing God's will, from trusting in Him. And what is fear? It's doubt. Who are we doubting? Are we doubting ourselves? No, because we always go with our decision. If God says go, He knows what's best, but we decide our decision, no, I'll stay here. We're doubting God's plan. We're doubting God, and we're putting faith in ourselves, which is the worst thing to do. So it's actually the fact is that we don't trust God. We don't have any confidence in Him. And that's the problem with our faith. So how do we get more faith? Trust isn't something that's just given. It's something that's earned. I'm not going to give my trust to a stranger, someone I barely know. I'll go with what I decide is best because I think I know what's best because I'm full of pride. But the problem is we don't know the God we serve, so why put our trust and faith in Him? As simple as that. We don't know Him. If we knew Him, let me tell you, okay, right now, in your situation, if you don't see the physical hand of God moving, you're like, oh, well, God's not moving. He's not there. I don't see it. So you don't believe it. You don't put faith in Him. But now imagine you could see His visible hand moving and doing things. You would wipe away your tears, sit down, don't worry, God's got it. Simple as that. We have to recognize that we don't have faith, and the reason we don't have faith is because we don't know God. We don't have any trust in Him. We don't know what He's done for us, what He wants to do for us. We don't know the God we serve. Okay, Mark 4, verses 35 to 41. Jesus calms the storm. I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to show you guys what I want to show you. That day when evening came, He said to the disciples, "Let us go over to the other side." Leaving the crowd behind, they took Him along. Just as He was in the boat, there were also other boats with Him. A furious squall came up, and the waves broke over the boat, so that it was nearly swamped. Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke Him and said to Him, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." Then the winds died down, and it was completely calm. He said to His disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" They were terrified and asked each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey Him." I think it kind of shows they didn't know who was in the boat with them. I don't even have to point it out. They were like, "Who is this? Even the winds and the waves obey Him." If they knew Him, they knew that He had dominion over like the waves. That nature has to bow its knee to God. That He is God. They wouldn't be worried. They would know that Jesus is in our boat. We are set. We are okay. No matter what happens, we're good. So that goes for us. We're the disciples. We don't know who's in our boat. When we're in the storms, when we're heading into a storm, when we're heading out of a storm, we gotta recognize who is sitting next to us in a boat. We don't know our God. We don't know who's in the boat with us. And that's the problem. So how to fix this problem is the easiest answer, which is we need to know Him. And the more we know Him, just like your mom or your dad, they provided for you. Hopefully, in some cases. If you're fortunate, they provided for you. They put food on the table time and time and time and time again. You scraped your knee. They picked you up. They wiped it off. They put a Band-Aid on and you're set. And they helped you. They helped you walk. They did everything. You know them. You can put your faith and your trust in them because they love you. They provided in the past and they provide in the future. That's how it is. But God is like a stranger to us. When God tells us to go, when He tells us to leap, we don't. When He tells us to drop what we're doing, to follow Him, we don't. When He tells us to go share the gospel, to go pray for the sick, we don't. We don't trust Him. We're just so caught up in what we think is better because we don't know Him. So I don't want to leave you astray. Give you some fake answer and say, it's going to be better in the storm if you just keep asking, "Lord, give me faith. Take away this, do this, do this, do this." No, I think we got to do what we were created to do and created to be. We're His creation. We're made in His image. We're supposed to have communion with Him. We're supposed to be in relationship, to know God, to love Him with all our heart, all our soul, and all our mind. And when we know Him, when we love Him, we're going to follow what He says to do. We're going to trust in Him when the waves are shaky. We're going to know that He is in the boat with us. In my life, when it comes to sharing my faith and telling people about Jesus, fear is always there. I won't even lie to you. Sometimes it's terrifying to go up and talk to somebody. Even though the last person I just talked to, I just went up and talked to them. It doesn't make any sense. But it's sometimes I lean on my own understanding and I don't trust God fully. But man, when it's the times when I feel like me and God were like this, we're so tight-knit together, He's my best friend, and I know to trust in Him, those are the times when I see someone and I go, I gotta go talk to them, there's no hesitation, it's just go. Because I know Him. I know to lean on Him. I'm not perfect. Fear is still there. Sometimes, a lot of times, I miss opportunities day in and day out because I don't trust Him. But I want to get better. I want to know Him more so the lost souls can get to know Him. So I don't want to give you some little encouragement thing to make you feel better. I want to say, guys, get to know the God you serve. And when you get to know Him, you put your faith in Him. It's as simple as that. Know your God. That's how you have faith. That's how you can have trust in Him, because you know Him. He's not a stranger. That's my encouragement. That's me uplifting you guys to push you guys towards God and go, listen, get to know your God. I love you guys. I'm praying for you guys. Thank you so much for the support. Take care. Have a great day. Get to know your God. Get in His Word. There you go. See ya.